If you're interested in Aikido or Daito Ryu, which we're going to talk about in this video, or the samurai, please get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido, the complete guide to real samurai chivalry. We're going to get right onto the topic now, guys, but you can pick that up in Amazon or any bookshop. Just get yourself a copy and let me know what you think. Right, how can we say how close Aikido is to samurai martial arts? Is it possible to think, oh, what they're doing on the screen is what the samurai actually fought like when they either were on a battlefield or when they were fighting hand-to-hand combat in the streets? How close are they? Now that's the question for this video. Now, of course, we have to realize that we all have to agree, that in Aikido, the person being thrown actually helps throw themselves. Not wholly, and not completely, but they definitely help out because Aikido is meant to be a sort of a semi-ritualistic movement pattern and set of patterns, sometimes done in a randori fashion, which allows for proper movement so that you can get healthier and enjoy basically ki chi and encourage chi and the formation of chi and health. So it's not always just about direct combat. So we have to ask, where does Aikido come from? And it actually comes from Daito Ryu Aikijutsu. So what we're going to do is have a look at that. But what you should know basically is that Aikido is an extension and an evolution of samurai arts, if you will. It clearly has them in there, but it of course focuses on the creation and the movement of chi, and also helping people become free with their movement and not just to land on their face. This is post-World War II, when the samurai, or killing like a samurai, was deemed really bad. Now, Daito Ryu, or Daito Ryu Aikijutsu, or originally Daito Ryu Jujutsu, claims to be a revamped tradition from samurai times. Now, in front of you here is Sokaku Takeda. Now, Sokaku Takeda was born in samurai times to a samurai family, and he was also the teacher of Ueshiba, which was the head of Aikido. Now, he is said, that is Takeda Sensei, is said to have taken all the samurai teachings and put them into a system which is known as Daito Ryu. Okay, and he put that together. Now, Ueshiba is meant to have trained under him in Daito Ryu Jiu-Jitsu. Well, it's not meant to, he did train under him, along with also the founder of Hapkido, who was also one of his students. Now, I found a great site here on daitoryu.co.uk on Takeda Sokaku's timeline. So if you go there and have a look, you can see how he developed from samurai birth up until what he was doing. Now, there is a debate as to whether the martial arts at the end of the Edo period were anywhere close to the martial arts of the samurai in the Warring States period. So when we say, is Daito Ryu or Aikido like the arts of the samurai, we have to say, well, is it like the fighting arts of the Warring period, or is it like the peace period arts? You know, there is a big discussion there, maybe too big for this video. But we do know that this man was definitely born in a time of war, and towards the end of samurai times in the mid-1800s, when the samurai were coming to an end, and there was a lot of violence and a lot of hand-to-hand combat and a lot of street fighting. It was lots of combat around Kyoto, assassinations and all sorts of things. So he was brought up in that world, and he was a member of a clan which stretches back for generations. I'm going to show you some footage from Antonio Serta Sensei. And I've met Serta Sensei, and he's wonderful, and he is the head of the Daito Kai line, which is a traditional line from the Takeda clan. So he basically, so I'm using his footage in the background there. You can see on the right when he was much younger in the 1990s or the early 1990s. So you can observe and watch Daito Ryu in action as I tell you about the connections. Now, you can actually get a copy of Serta Sensei's book, but you have to be careful. It's in multiple languages. That's the Italian edition. You've got to try and find the English edition. It's quite difficult, but you can get yourself a copy if you are interested. Now, the thing about Daito Ryu is that we just don't know how far back it goes. Now, Sokaku, or I'll just call him Takeda Sensei. So Takeda Sensei absolutely was born in samurai times and absolutely was there. Now, but the question is, he comes from the Takeda family. And it's said that the martial arts was ancient and that he revamped it and restructured it into a very set series of, katas and techniques. But it's been debated just how much of it came from there and how much was changed. Now, I'm not here fully for that debate, but let's go on faith and say that at least the majority of Daito Ryu is taken from earlier traditions. Now, I do know they have Ono Ryu swordsmanship inside of Daito Ryu, which absolutely is a wonderful swordsmanship school, and it's really there. So what we have to do then is realise that maybe some of Daito Ryu was actually reinvented, and by that I mean it wasn't, absolutely how the samurai would have fought, but actually looking at its techniques, as you can see, it's totally different from Aikido. By totally, what I mean is, or I think you understand what I mean, it is different enough that it constitutes a new style. Remembering that Ueshiba actually brought it from Daito Ryu. But again, with the popularity of Aikido, I think Daito Ryu changed from Daito Ryu Jiu-Jitsu to Daito Ryu Aikijutsu. Now, Aiki is it's a concept which again needs a lot of background research, but it's put together, I think, after samurai times. I don't think it's an original term, but I may be wrong on that. In the comments, please change my thing there if I'm wrong. But basically, it was born out of a Shinto religion or a religious sect where they brought together, and it's the joining of ki and the idea. And now Ueshiba was very much a part of this movement and a part of the new religious movement that focused. And now, like I said, it's the end of samurai or Japanese warriors at war. It's talking about World War II had finished and everybody was against the samurai. The Japanese in full were against the samurai after the misuse of the Hagakure, lots of war criminals, atomic bombs. So they were like, let's make this really peaceful. So a lot of people who say about Aikido and say, it doesn't work and it's not good, it isn't designed to be a fighting combat system like this. As you can see, Daito Ryu is much more aggressive and forward. Aikido is born out of a atomic wasteland, basically. People are dead, the reputation of the Japanese is in tatters, and they start to revamp themselves, which ends in the basically economic bubble of Japan growing and going massive. And this also brings their new spirituality, which goes all the way to the 1990s with these super master sort of warriors, if you like. But as you can see from the footage here, we could say that while Aikido holds the principles inside of Daito Ryu, it actually clearly is a far removed version of it. And it's absolutely there, you can see it's there, but it's definitely a new form. And it can be said that Daito Ryu is actually a newer form of older samurai techniques. So, can we say that Aikido is connected to the samurai? We can, but we have to say it comes from a very thin webbed connection. It's not quite like that. You wouldn't see the samurai fighting as they would do in an Aikido demonstration. But likewise, you wouldn't quite see the samurai fighting like they do here in the Daito Ryu. It would be somewhere in the middle. Footage is taken from Aikido Expo, so please go and check out their channel. But what we've got to realise is that Aikido is far more dynamic in movement than Aikijutsu. Aikijutsu is a set of very strong, strict techniques. Now, if Aikido is done with a sort of midline between Aikijutsu and very modern Aikido by its very flowery, then we might start to see sections of samurai combat in movement. It wouldn't be quite like this, they're coming at you and they're being thrown all over, but you could take a split second out of that as two samurai crashed, and that would be it. That would be over, like that, finished, and that would be the end of it. So Can we say that Aikido is a true ancestor of samurai arts? We can, but we have to remember it's gone through changes, and glimpses of samurai combat are found inside Aikido. Just glimpses, but they are there. The same as we have glimpses of samurai combat in Daito Ryu. So let me know what you think in the comments below about the connection between Aikido and the samurai. Now, if you've enjoyed that short video, which we could go much deeper into it, please get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido, the complete guide to real samurai chivalry. That will help you get to grips with how samurai actually fought and what they did. It's available anywhere now, and you can get it. The best place to get it is on Amazon, and it's right there for you to get. A lovely chunky book, so enjoy that if you enjoy Aikido, Daito Ryu, or samurai.